Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to day 9 of the series Awakening to Purpose. Today we are going to look at the longings of your soul. Our soul is always speaking, but we have been trained, we have been programmed to ignore the inner voice, that little voice in our hearts, right? We are distracted by, the business of life, by demands, by, expectations, noise. So we no longer, we find it difficult to listen to our soul, to listen to the longings of our soul. But our soul is always speaking. The longings of your soul are not distractions. It's important. They are not random desires. They are clues. They are messages. They are calls towards who you are meant to become. They are calls towards who you are meant to become and what you are meant to give to the world. So the longings of your soul are not random, they are not random desires. They are messages. They are calls towards who you are meant to become and what you are meant to give to the world. Now, I want to explain this further. When I talk about what you are meant to become, I'm not saying that there is one thing that you are somehow divinely ordained to become. There is this one person, one career, one job title you are meant to become, that if you don't become that kind of person or do that kind of thing, you are not going to be successful, you are not going to be prosperous, you are not going to live a satisfied life. Is not what I'm saying. We all can become so many things. I can become an engineer and a successful one. I can become a programmer and become successful at that. I can become a banker and become successful in that. I can become a school teacher and I will succeed in that. But however, what I mean by what you are meant to become is that if we factor in your gifts, your passions, the way you are wired, your personality, your temperament, the way you process information, and the way you see the world, there is one person, there is this kind of, there is a particular kind of person that if you become, there is a path that if you follow that path, that you are going to lead a life of significance, a life that has more depth, a life that is unique and authentic to you. So that is what I mean by who you are meant to become. So the longings of our souls are clues towards who we are meant to become and what you are meant to give to the world. So you become that person and you give a gift of that person, right? So what you are giving is not just what you do, it's not just what you create, right? It's not just the service you render, it's not just the problem, but you are giving a gift of yourself. Just like a tree, if you plant a seed and that seed becomes a tree, it has manifested its potential, right? It has lived, it has grown, it has matured. It gives off oxygen, and oxygen is important to humans. The oxygen that tree is giving It flows out of the tree. It's a byproduct. The tree does not struggle to give out that oxygen. This is important. The tree does not struggle to give out oxygen. Oxygen is a byproduct of a tree being a tree, right? So oxygen is a gift a tree is giving to humanity. So what I mean by what you're meant to become is that when you become this kind of person that is authentic to you and unique to you, you give gift to the world from the abundance of your authenticity. You don't struggle to do that. It comes out of you. It's a byproduct of you living your life the way that is authentic and unique to you. So that is why it's important to listen to the longings of our soul. So today we want to look at how we can reconnect with these longings of the soul and how it can help us on the journey of purpose, how it can help us to to live a life of purpose, to become clearer in what our purpose is. It's important that we differentiate between longings and cravings and ambition. Longings, cravings, and ambition, right? So we start with cravings. Cravings seeks for immediate satisfaction. For example, you are craving for ice cream, you are craving for chicken, you are craving for sex. Those are cravings, and they demand somehow immediate satisfaction. A pregnant woman might be craving a particular kind of food and it demands immediate satisfaction. Now, it doesn't mean that our cravings, if we don't satisfy them, if you are craving for ice cream and you don't take that ice cream, you are going to experience a kind of an immune response or a physiological response, or something will happen to you instantly. No. Now, an ambition seeks for recognition. Somebody might be ambitious to be the president of Nigeria, right? Somebody's ambition might be to buy a house in Lekki, Nigeria, or to buy the latest Lexus Jeep. Those are ambitions. They generally seek for recognition. They seek for class, for status. However, longings are deeper. Longings comes from the soul and it pulls us, right? So longings comes from the soul and it pulls us towards meaning, towards truths and wholeness. There are two forms of motivation. Generally, there are two forms of motivation. So motivation can be broadly classified into two. We have the intrinsic motivation and we have the extrinsic motivation. So this is internal. Extrinsic motivation is external. The intrinsic motivation is a pull motivation. The extrinsic motivation is a push motivation. A pull motivation is that kind of motivation where you are doing something. For example, you are passionate, you are interested in teaching kids how to program, how to code. That is your passion, right? And you wake up, you spend, nights, you sleep late in the night, right? Because you are preparing to teach them, you are preparing class, you are learning how to code so that you can teach these kids. That discipline, the motivation for that discipline is a pull motivation. You are pulled towards service. You are pulled towards making a difference. You are pulled towards making an impact. So it's a pull motivation. You are pulled towards something. You are pulled towards your vision. You are pulled towards mission. You are not disciplining yourself because you want to avoid pain. You are not disciplining yourself because you don't want to get a query. Nobody is giving you a query. You decided to do this. So that motivation is inwards. For push motivation is external, it's not inward. Something outside of you is pushing you to be disciplined, to take a decision, to take the extra mile. For example, a push motivation is you wake up in the midnight and you are studying something to do. You are doing something, right? Let's say you are doing a project that was given to you by your boss in the office, and you are disciplining yourself in that way because you want to avoid being rated low. You want to avoid query. So it's a push motivation. If that was not the case, you wouldn't, if the reward or the punishment is not there, you wouldn't discipline yourself to do that. So a push motivation is often you are pushed to do something because you want to avoid pain, or because you are seeking after a reward. But a pull motivation is not like that. So our longings comes from a pull. It pulls us towards meaning. It pulls us towards purpose, towards truth and wholeness. Longing sounds something like this. It sounds like this. There has to be more to life than this. Have you felt that nudge in your spirit, in your heart? You think, but there has to be more to life than this. I was having a discussion with, somebody. He was mentioning how, his job is paid little, and Nigeria is so tough. I asked him, do you have a plan? Do you have a plan to come out of this, this cycle of, you earn a living, and before the month ends, you're already in debt? He said, now who get money, they make plan, right? Now who get money, they make plan. If you don't have money, you can't make a plan. So for that kind of person, that kind of noggin there has to be more to life than this. But like I said, somehow we live in a world that is so loud. Either the loudness is coming from a sense of trying to survive, or by busyness in pursuit of success, in pursuit of status, in pursuit of material success. So we don't have time. We no longer listen to our souls, those inner voice that says there has to be more to life than this. There has to be more to life than going to work. You come back, you consume, you buy things, right? There has to be more to life than you go to do your business, then you make profit. You just buy and sell, you consume. The longest of soul also sounds like this. I want to do something that really matters. I want to do something that really matters to me. right? So these are not distractions, they are longings of your soul. I want to be free to express who I am. I want to be free to express who I am really, right? So these are the longings of your soul. They are not distractions. The longings of your soul are not longings of your soul are not distractions. They are directions. They are not distractions. They are directions. So this is why it's important that the kind of company you keep is powerful. Like I said in the 8th, environment is powerful. Environment can determine whether you are going to see the longings of your soul as distractions or random desires, or whether you are going to see them as direction. Because if you hang around with people who don't, listen to the desires of their soul, or people who, if you talk about what your soul longs for, if you talk about meaning, you want to make a difference, right? You want to do something that really matters to you, and you talk about that in the midst of people who just want to survive, they are going to talk you out of that. They are going to make a fun of it. And if they are the people you spend majority of your time with, you are not going to listen. You are going to start to believe that the longings of your souls are distractions, right? Why don't you just want to survive? What are you thinking? You want to do something that really matters. You want to be a part of a movement. You want to make a difference. You want to make a meaning. So you begin to see it as a distraction. Meanwhile, they are directions. Your soul speaks in terms of energy. So when you are having some nuggets, when you are having these longings, right, that I want to do something that matters, right, I want to be free to express who I am. It is your soul talking. It means that your energy wants to move somewhere else. So